Hi, and welcome back to the Yarn Chicken podcast. We are on, I don't know which episode, the 5th, the 6th, the 4th? No, it's not the 4th. The 5th, the 6th, 7th? Anyway, I have been on a Vlogtober hype train. I have hyped myself up for Vlogtober so much that I just haven't. I've filled my daily filming doses with vlogging instead of a knitting podcast. So I know that I love watching knitting podcasts and I want to give them to you. And I need to remind myself of that balance because I also love vlogging, at least in this very short span. Vlogging about my knitting and some knitting and chatting while I have a break at work most of the days. But today it's finally time for my knitting podcast update. And what brought this on is that I am at an interesting place with a few different projects. So I will start with finished objects. I finally finished my socks for my father. These are huge. They are a size 46 European, and they are knit with the alpaca yarn from the alpaca sock yarn, so alpaca and nylon from Dale Garn. I think it's called alpaca forte, right? Yes, alpaca forte, alpaca forte. And I used 3 different colours for this and made humongous socks. These are so soft and squishy, and they will be a lovely Christmas present because this is what they were intended for. My father, he was given socks by me, knit by me, a few years back, and they are in a very much thinner yarn, and they are more autumn and spring compatible. They have stone floors in their home, and this is a winter compatible sock. It's thicker, it's fluffier, it's softer. It feels like such a treat to work with. I really like the yarn. I will definitely want to buy more of this yarn in different colours when I go back to Norway in the winter because this was just amazing to work with. So that is my finished object. So moving on to my works in progress, I have one project that I am just trudging along with, and it is the Cascade tank top by Lene Rix. It is a sleeveless tank top with a v-neck with I-cord edging on the sleeve holes and in the neckline. It has some cabling on the front pieces of the bust, so the cables, they twist around and they grow into the tank top, into the body of the tank top, and it is a really beautiful finished object. It will be a beautiful finished object once I actually finish it, because the body of the pattern, everything else except for the I-cord and the cables, is a 3x1 rib, so 3 pearls and 1 twisted knit. And you could, of course, twist it or knit it from the inside out and do 3 knits and 1 a twisted pearl, but I hate twisting my pearls. I knit with my yarn in my left hand. Can never remember if that is continental or English style, but that's what I do, and I absolutely hate purling or twisting my pearls. So I twist my knits and not my pearls. But even though I found the easiest way for me to knit this pattern, it is soul crushing. I'm knitting it on a 3mm needle with the Sandnes Garn Tynlinje, which is a thin cotton, viscose and linen yarn. It does make for a great drapey fabric. I'm knitting this for my mother's birthday, and it's not going to be season for this for months. This will at best be a layering piece in the spring, but probably she will get use out of it in the summertime. And it is a lovely summer fabric. It's very light. I can feel it. It holds its shape fairly well. Now, just working with it, it doesn't. It wicks some moisture from the skin without feeling icky or sticky. So I think it's going to be a great piece for her. She has knitted herself a t-shirt, a 3/4 length t-shirt with this very yarn. So she knows that I know that she likes it. She told me that it's her favorite yarn to wear during the summer. But since she doesn't knit a lot on very small needles anymore, so she knew that she wasn't going to make herself another garment. So I thought, hey, finally a good idea for a present for my mother. So this is how far I am. I have to sew in the ends. I did sew in some of the ends. I have to I have to cut and graft together the left shoulder strap because I twisted it. When joining in the round, I accidentally twisted it, and I knew that I could fix it. I had just knit a lot by the time I realised that it was twisted, and I knew that ripping back the entire work would take longer and would cause me more heartbreak than if I place 2 safety lines, or what do you call them? Lifelines. Cut it open and then graft them together in the stitch pattern. So that is something that I'm going to do. I also need to tug at the I-cord, because here at the neckline, the back neckline, I picked up stitches in the I-cord or next to the I-cord, and that left me with quite a loose gauge, or not gauge, but it left me with loose stitches where I picked up, because the I-cord ended up being very tight. So I need to fiddle with that. I did it for the first few stitches here, and that fixed the tension beautifully. So I know that that's just something that I have to do for the back. And then I have to add a good amount of length. My mother is shorter than I am, but she has a larger chest circumference. So in this pattern for myself, I would knit a size medium, probably. And based on my mother's measurements, I'm knitting her a double XL. And I know how to work a garment to fit for my torso length, which is a bit longer than some others with my length. But I also have nothing to hold up a garment with except for my shoulders, and my mother is not part of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, so she would wear this garment differently than I would. It would fall differently on her, so I have to do some thinking about how long to actually make it, because I don't want it to be too short for her, but I also don't want it to be long. And honestly, at this point, I might just knit as far as I can, fix the I-cord, sew in the ends, untwist the shoulder strap, and put it on a cable extension cord or like a tubing for her to try on, because I'm visiting her for her birthday next weekend. And if I then need to finish a few more centimeters, or if I can cast off then and there, I will do that. But I would rather her get the surprise spoiled, but it ended up being the right length, than giving her something as a surprise that ends up being too short or too long, and she will know how much time and effort this takes to make, so she will not be giving it back to me and telling me it needs 7 more centimeters. So that is the plan for this. I'm going to take this on a longer train journey later this week. I also take it on my commute. I knit this during my meetings at work, meetings where I don't have to be involved, I just have to listen and take in. So this is a very good mindless knit for those occasions. It was not a good knit for watching a Korean TV show. We finished watching Culinary Class Wars, and that was an amazing TV show. I really enjoyed it, but since this yarn is quite splitty, and since it's a 3x1 rib and with a twisted knit, I have to look at it a lot. Not all the time. Sometimes I get into the rhythm of it, but I have to look at it often. So I can knit this during TV shows that I've either seen before or that are in one of my languages. So German, Swedish or English, but not Korean. But I will see how long this takes me. I have just finished my second ball of this. This is how far I came on the 2 first balls, and this is my third. And the pattern says that it needs 5 balls, that I would need 5 balls for this. And nowhere in the pattern can I see that it's knitted with 2 strands held together, but I honestly do not understand where the 2 other balls would even go, because this would end up being a dress if I knit with all 2.5 more balls of this. I have double checked, and I cannot see anywhere that it says to knit with 2 strands held together. So I will probably end up having 2 balls of this. And I guess that means that I'm going to knit myself something out of this. I don't wear blue a lot though, so I don't know. Maybe I'll figure something else out. But that is my main work in progress. I have one more work in progress that I'm actively working on, and it is a comparison, or it wasn't supposed to be a comparison, it was supposed to be just a sock. But I started knitting the Royal Winter Socks by Tobi Beck. I knit this version on a 2.5mm needle, and I knit 3 pattern repeats. I chucked it in the washing machine and it shrank. Not a lot, just a teeny tiny bit, and it was too tight. So I cast it on a 3mm needle instead. I should have known, because I am quite a tight knitter, so I should have known, but I didn't think. So this is my second version of this sock. You can see it is a bit larger and it feels more stretchy. It feels like I could actually fit this over my foot. I'm going to finish the last pattern repeat for this, then place it on a cable, put it in the washing machine tomorrow when I have the laundry room. And then I will see if it still fits. I will continue on finishing this sock, and then I'm casting on another sock, because having worked this much in a pattern, I don't feel very motivated to start the second sock immediately. And I don't want to completely go off sock island. So if I stay on the island but I don't work the second sock of this, but instead the first sock of a new pair, once I finish that first sock I can go back and do the second sock for this pair, and then do the second sock for the second pair. That is my reasoning, at least. And I was worried about my tension looking bumpy. I've been like trying to tug at it and trying to make it look all neat. But this is an unblocked version, and this is the blocked version, and it looks so much smoother. I am quite impressed with myself. I'm very pleased with myself. So I think I have high hopes that this will block out and look smooth as well. So this is on a 3mm needle. It is with the Arwetta from Filcolana in a happy red, not a Scorsese red, and an off-white. So very Christmassy colours because I celebrate Christmas. And I wanted to make myself a pair of Christmassy socks. And for the sock that I want to cast on, this has to do with my acquisitions. So first of all, I acquired the Joyful Colourwork socks by Charlotte Stone. I didn't buy this. I borrowed this at my local library. And one of the socks that I want to knit out of this, of course, I would love to make the skull socks. They are so cute, but I will not have time to make them for this season. So that might be something I do later on. And where is the pattern? She has different categories in her patterns. So she has Life is Better with Pets, In the Garden, Home for the Holidays, Let's Party, and It's Not Just a Hobby. So these are then different patterns that are on that particular theme. So for example, Life is Better with Pets, she has a dog pattern, a frog pattern, a parrot pattern, then and under the Let's Party, she has Happy Hours with Martini Glasses, Pizza Night, and then the pattern that I want to make, which is Melondrama, which is a watermelon sock. Hang on if I can see. I don't want to show you any of the information. So I'm covering the pattern with another pattern, but it's a free one, so it's not as bad. So this watermelon pattern I want to make for myself. And I wasn't planning on making the watermelon socks because I borrowed the book. I knew that I wanted some inspiration for my socks and wasn't really looking for the next project to make. But then I had ordered yarn for another project, which is an alien sock for my nephews. And these three colours are what I ordered for them. So I wanted the black background, and I wanted the neon orange and a neon green. And when I looked at these three colours together, I was like, this is the perfect, loud, obnoxious watermelon pattern. I want to make the watermelon socks. This was like a day after me borrowing this book. So I want to make the watermelon socks because they are cute. I want to make something of Charlotte Stone's because I follow her on social media and I think her work is brilliant. And I also want to wear a visible symbol of my support for the Palestinian struggle. I mean, there is a ceasefire as of now, and we are finally seeing some hope, but the struggle isn't over. And I want to show my support, not just through where I spend my money and where I donate to, but also the conversations I have and the symbols that I show. So this is a strong symbol for me that is meaningful, and I also love the pattern. So I am making watermelon socks. This is yarn from Järbo. This is a collaboration between them and Astrid Lindgren and Elon Wikland, which is the illustrator for Astrid Lindgren's books. So this is based on different parts of the illustrations that are particularly loved. So this is for the children of a noisy village. I found that hilarious, the direct translation, Bullerbyn. And this is Lotta Red, and this is Pappas paraply, or Dad's umbrella. And this is, I think, what Madicken uses to fly with off the shed, where she breaks her foot or arm or something. But those colours, amazing, better than I expected. I also bought another sock yarn from Järbo. This is Merino Raggi. Oh right, I forgot to tell you that this is 75% wool and 25% polyamide. So this is superwash wool and polyamide. And this is Merino Raggi, which is 25% superwash merino wool and 25% polyamide in a pastel green colour. I thought this was going to be more of a muted sagey colour, but this is fine too. I want to make a textured pair of socks with these. I have a pattern in mind from the 52 Weeks of Socks book, but I have to wind this into a ball because I usually don't get a hank like this, and I don't have a Swift to wind it with or a ball winder, so I will have to do this by hand. I think I will enlist my partner to help me with this, but this feels very soft, and it is not unlike the Arwetta in its softness, but the Arwetta is a lot thinner, so I think this will make for a beautiful thick pair of textured socks. And then the last is another set of sock yarn. This is Tencel Raggi, so instead of the nylon, it is 20% Tencel and 75% wool. And this is also from Järbo, and I bought these because I wanted to make a pair of checkered or gingham patterned socks. So from Cool Stitches, she has a pattern which is pay what you want kind of pattern, and I really like her things, her designs. I follow her on social media as well, and I enjoy what she makes and I want to support her, and I really like the gingham look. I was thinking about making a gingham sweater, but I think I will scratch the itch by making a pair of gingham socks first. And on the website, this yellow looked a lot lighter, so the contrast between these two isn't huge. I'm a bit worried about that, but not so worried that I won't want to try this. The brown I really like, and together I'm trying to make myself think that these will look great, like a 70s sock look. It will take some convincing, for sure, but I will at least try. I don't know when I will try because my Christmas socks have priority, but over any socks I need to finish the Cascade tank top for my mother. And after the Cascade tank top is finished, I will cast on the watermelon socks and probably alien socks as well in the same batch of sock making. And then once those are finished, I will have 2 new pairs of socks. I will have 2 pairs of Christmas presents, socks for my nephews, and then I can start with these. So these I think I want to make for myself, and these might be a gift knit because I am knitting socks for my sister-in-laws for Christmas as well, because they are very knit worthy. So we will see. To be continued, my friends. And that is it for today's knitting podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your seasonal knits are, and let me know if you watched any of my vlog videos, because that would be fun to see how the crossover is of the audience. Do vlog watching people also watch knitting podcasts? So leave me a comment with anything you're working on, and if you watched any of my vlogs, and click the subscribe button if you found this video entertaining, and click this picture right here that will take you to a playlist of my other knitting podcast episodes. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.